Fellas, I know I say this quite a few times when I do my videos to get out a pen, piece of paper, writing utensil so that you can take notes. But I really, really need you guys to do that in this video because I want to talk about compliments today. I'm going to talk about some things that I do to assist me in getting compliments. Now, some of them are very common sense. So some of the stuff I want to mention, don't be offended by it. I'm just here to help. Let's talk about it. YouTube, what's good, man? It's the BowTie, fragrance guy, fashion, fragrance, looking good, smelling great. That's what we talk about on this channel. So if you're into that, which all of you should, man, you should be at least interested in looking your best, maybe smelling good. We can talk about it another time. But if you're into looking good and smelling great, make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notifications as well. So anytime a new video is uploaded on the channel, you guys get notified. Guys, you see the title of today's video. We want to talk about compliments. If you're not getting compliments, I have some tips and tricks and things of that nature that you could do to potentially increase the likelihood that you'll get some, if you're not getting any, or if you're getting some already, getting more compliments. Like I said, some of this stuff may be a little bit common sense, so don't be offended by those of you, of course, that are doing these things on a regular basis. But some of these things, like I said, are just some of the things that I do personally to assist me with getting more compliments. Anytime I talk about a fragrance that I've gotten compliments on, I have gotten compliments on those fragrances. I have no reason to make that stuff up, but I know there's a lot of conversation that's been had around this particular topic. So I thought that I would share some of my best practices with you guys. So if you want to hear what I have to say, and I think you do, because I also have a couple fragrances I want to talk about while I talk about this topic, then you know the routine. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it. Stop playing with me, man.
The BowTie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we are back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. Let's jump right into this video. Now, we're going to be talking about compliments again and some of the things that I do to enhance or increase the likelihood that I'll probably get a compliment when I wear my fragrances. Now, I hate, and I'm tired of saying this, I don't wear fragrances for compliments, which I'm pretty sure most of you don't do it for that. You just want to smell good. But as I always say, it definitely doesn't hurt when someone takes the time out of their day to say, wow, you know what? You smell nice. Definitely not a bad thing. Definitely feels good when somebody compliments you on your fragrance. So let's jump into it now. Of course, guys, here's the one that I am definitely referring to when I say don't be offended. You got to shower, okay? I know that sometime when we were younger, we probably have all done it. We probably haven't showered and still threw on a fragrance. We probably need to go run and see this little chick real quick. So we just threw something on. But there's a very, very popular book that says when you're a child, you think as a child, but when you grow up, you put away childish things. All right. And showering or going without showering and applying a fragrance is a very, very childish thing. So if you want to make sure that that fragrance is going to be like the army, be all that it can be, then you want to make sure that you are showering before you apply your fragrance. Now, the second tip that I want to give you guys is the type of lotion that you are utilizing before applying a fragrance. There's all kind of different hacks and things out there that people talk about. The Vaseline hack that helps increase longevity, all that different stuff. I feel like Vaseline kind of interferes with the fragrance itself. So one of my other tips that I want to give you guys is to definitely be very mindful of the type of lotion that you are utilizing. For most fragrances that I wear, I like to apply either a non-scented or a very lightly scented lotion before I apply my fragrance. Now, there are certain occasions that there's this very, very popular lotion brand. I think it's EOS brand or something like that. They make all these, I'll try to put a picture here. They make all these different, different varieties of lotion there, vanilla, cashmere, and all these different things. So occasionally I may do that. If I'm wearing a fragrance that is very heavy on the vanilla, I did have the vanilla cashmere lotion, so I may apply that because it has a very heavy vanilla scent, nice woody vanilla scent. So then I'll wear a fragrance that has a heavy, of course, presence of vanilla. And sometimes I may go with a little bit of a scented lotion. But other than that, for the most part, I go with a very light scented or a non-scented lotion. Now, fellas, speaking of compliments, I told you I had a fragrance that I wanted to share with you. And this fragrance is a recent acquisition in my collection, and it was sent to me by Max Aroma. Shout out to Max Aroma for sponsoring today's video and sending this over to me. They've kind of come up with their own fragrance brand that I heard was released during Scent Explorer last year, which I didn't get a chance to make it to. But this year, guys, if you're going to be going to Scent Explorer, probably going to see your boy, because I am pretty confident I am going this year. But this is called the House of Dastan, and this fragrance is called You. Guys, when they reached out to me, I had a chance to select what fragrances I want. And you guys know I've told you so many times, once you've gotten into this hobby for a long time, you can kind of look at notes and know what you're probably going to like, what's probably going to appeal to you. And let's just say this time, I 100% hit it out of the park. So they come in a box like this. I don't know if you've heard of this brand or not. Dastan. And this is available exclusively at Max Aroma. But it comes in a box like this. Your fragrance will rest securely in the box, and you take it out. And voila. Here is your bottle. And this one is called You. Again, here is a bottle. Very beautiful bottle. These bottles are inspired by Parisian palaces and art. So very, very beautiful presentation, I would say, on the bottles. And this particular fragrance features notes of pear, fig, sandalwood. There's this very milky accord, cinnamon, and tonka bean. And from the notes, if you know me, you probably know that this is my kind of fragrance, and I was not wrong. I would just say this, guys, it was a love at first sniff for me with this particular fragrance. It has so many things that I love. You guys that have been following me for a long time know that I love the note of fig. I always talk about that because fig to me is is fruity, but it has this kind of creamy nature to it. And I just think it was brilliant to throw that fig in here with that quote unquote milky accord, which kind of gives this very lactonic, there's this lactonic milky creaminess to this fragrance. And it just works so harmoniously with the fig in this fragrance. The pear up top gives this very, very, of course, sensuality, this fruity sensuality in the opening of the fragrance. And then the dry down, of course, here comes that beautiful milky sandalwood and the sweetness of tonka bean and that slight spicy cinnamon. Now, cinnamon works so well to me with fragrances like this because it's the perfect kind of warm spice to give the fragrance a little bit of warmth and spiciness, but it's just perfect with the tonka bean and the sandalwood and that whatever they're using to kind of create that lactonic kind of milkiness in this fragrance. It could be a combination, of course, because sandalwood kind of assisting whatever that accord is that they're using to make it that creamy. But this fragrance is a standout. I wore this fragrance last week and I got 4 compliments on this fragrance. That's why I felt it was so appropriate to talk about this particular fragrance on a video like this. It's a winner. It's a winner. It's a winner. It is a winner. So guys, this particular fragrance, as I said, is called You. There I have 2 other fragrances by the brand that I will be talking about with you guys in the next couple weeks. But guys, so far, this is definitely up there as probably my favorite. There's another one I have that's up there. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this one is really, really, really good. It's the type of scent profile that I personally enjoy. Now, this is a 100 ml bottle. Like I said, you can pick it up exclusively at Max Aroma. I will leave a link down below if you guys want to check it out. Make sure you click that link. I want to say this is 100 ml and it retails for $275. They have probably about, looks like 6 or 7 fragrances in this particular house that have come out so far. And again, I have 2 others that I want to be talking about. But guys, this one was right up my alley. And I'm telling you right now, at least for me, it worked on my skin. Obviously, other people thought that it smelled great on me as well. And again, so this one is one that I can sincerely highly recommend. If you love a fruity fragrance, if you love a fragrance that has that really creaminess, almost this underlying gourmand aspect to the fragrance that I get from it, with that tonka bean and that sandalwood and that kind of creaminess or that lactonic vibe, whatever that's coming from, in addition to the sandalwood, this one is a winner. I'm gonna link it down below. Click on the link and check it out, guys. This one is called You by the House of Dastan. I think that's how you pronounce that. Exclusively available at Max Aroma. Make sure you check this one out. It's a winner in my book. All right, guys. Now, the next thing that I highly recommend that has worked for me and may work for you as well, that may increase your chances of getting compliments when you're wearing fragrances, is utilizing additional products that come with that fragrance or that are made in the same scent. Of course, you guys know how much I love this fragrance from Tom Ford, Oud Wood. So let's take Oud Wood, for instance, which is, of course, supposed to be an oud fragrance, but it's not. You know, it's more of a westernized kind of oud scent profile. But this is one of my absolute favorite fragrances. I get so many compliments when I wear Oud Wood. And I would have to say, because it's not the best performer, is because I utilize a lot of other products that have the same Oud Wood scent. For instance, the body spray. When I wear this, oftentimes Oud Wood, I of course wear the body spray. I start in the morning time after taking, showering, whatever I normally shower with. I will follow it up with just some of this Tom Ford Oud Wood body gel, shower gel. And I also use the Tom Ford beard oil. So when you actually wear a fragrance, and they actually make products like this that go with the fragrance, like the body oil. Like the body oil, sometimes body lotion, maybe shower gel, things of that nature. Use all those products, especially that body spray. Use all those products in addition to the fragrance, and that really helps the fragrance to project. Which, in my experience, with a fragrance like Oud Wood, that's not the greatest performer, it really helps it to project and help other people to be able to pick up on the fragrance that you're wearing. That's definitely one of my little tips and tricks that I use that may work for you as well. All right, guys, another little tip that I want to give you guys is this. One of the things that I do now, this is a BowTie Fragrance Guy exclusive. One of the things that I do, because I review fragrances, I always, those first couple times I'm going to wear a fragrance, I want to make sure that I put it on. I'm always paying close attention to the time of day that I'm putting the fragrance on, and always checking in on the performance, checking in on how the fragrance develops and all these different things. So I can really come back, give you guys my perspective on the fragrance, testing the longevity and things of that nature. But once I've gotten to know a fragrance, one of the tips that I do utilize is I always like to take a few extra sprays throughout the course of the day when I know that I'm going to be around people or I'm going to be going out and about. And what I mean by that is this. I'm one of those folks that always take my fragrance with me every day. I'm a frag head. What can I say? Sometimes I just like to pull my bottle out, smell the fragrance that I'm wearing, whatever the case may be. But oftentimes, for instance, if I'm about to go on my lunch break, I'm probably, 4 or 5 hours into my work day, I always throw a quick, 1 or 2 sprays and apply a little extra because I know I'm about to be going out and about. So if you've been at work, you've been there for a couple hours, you're about to head out and about for lunch or maybe going into a meeting or something like that, whatever the case may be, and you know that you're about to be in the presence of other people, walking by people, go ahead and throw on 1 or 2, spritz on 1 or 2 sprays or whatever you decide to wear for that day. That is something else that, I do, a little tip and trick that I can give for you that may help you as well to get compliments, because that, of course, that scent, that fragrance will be fresh when you pass by. And of course, they may catch your sea eyes. All right, guys. And last but not least, my final tip that I want to give you is one that's really, really obvious as well. You got to be outside, man. You have to be outside. I hear a lot of guys sometimes are complaining about not getting compliments on their fragrances, and come to find out they're not going anywhere, man. So if you're just sitting home all day, or occasionally just you work from home, you're just running out to the store here and there, especially if you may be with your family or something like that, people are not as likely to come up to you when you are with, maybe your significant other, or if you're with your family and compliment you on a fragrance, man. So that's my last, tip. Again, one of the most obvious ones, like the first one that I gave you. You got to be outside, man. You got to be out and about and around people for them to have the opportunity, of course, to pay you a compliment on your fragrance. But that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video as I gave you some of my tips and tricks and some stuff a little bit more common sense. Just things that I do to increase the likelihood that if you're not getting compliments, maybe you apply some of these things to your regimen. Maybe you will start to get yourself some compliments. As always, I'm your guy, the BowTie Fragrance Guy. I love looking good. I love to smell absolutely amazing. So until next time, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.